Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today I want to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about fasting. Something I've always been a fan of, at least for long periods of time. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so. And if you'll be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I'd appreciate it so much. And I mean, perfect example of what we're talking about right there, that set of bench press, doing rep work with 315, did rep work with 500 deadlift, box jumps, weighted pull-ups, squats, all sorts of stuff, right, in that workout. And then I went and took a 30-minute run, okay? I went and ran 30 minutes afterwards, then put in an hour on my bike, and then had breakfast. Okay, my thing is everyone has a problem. Like, you'll see people who are like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do these things fasted. You can't train fasted, that it's going to interfere with performance. It's going to interfere with muscle growth. To which I would say to people, well, where's your evidence of this? In fact, I just saw a study that came out not long ago. I saw Menno Hanselman link it, where it showed exactly what I and a lot of people who've been training fasted for years have said. Doesn't impede performance at all. Okay, you still have glycogen stores from the night before. All right, and I don't think people grasp that. It's like, you're not going to burn as much glycogen as you think you are. Okay. You're not going to burn as much glycogen as you think you are. And in fact, I think people forget you're literally burning fat in between sets. It's like, okay, yes, you're burning glycogen for your lifting. Oh, you do 5 sets of hard squats. Okay, hey, fine, no problem. You're burning through, 10 grams of carbohydrates doing that. That's not much glycogen, guys. And I think people forget that as soon as you're done with a higher intensity activity, your body can go right back to digging into body fat, other things. It really isn't a big deal. And I've made muscle gains, I've made strength gains, I've made progress while training completely fasted. You guys have seen me build up to the best bench presses you've seen me hit on camera while training fasted. Okay? Training fasted. And we're not even talking, hey, I go eat immediately afterwards either. And I know lots of people with similar stuff. Like, I do less working out now in terms of lifting, but I had periods of time where I was lifting 5 or 6 days a week, and I wasn't doing real cardio while doing that. Now I'm more cardio focused. I lift 3 days a week. But I mean, keep in mind, when I say, oh, I'm more cardio focused, I still do rep work with 315 on the bench. I still do rep work with 500 on the deadlift. I'm not coming in not lifting anything decent, And I'm about to turn 49. Coming up here in a few months. So it's not like I'm playing around. But even then, I used to come in and do 2-hour workouts 5 days a week, lots of volume, completely fasted. Sometimes you do light cardio after. These days, I personally you guys are watching me regularly, get in, do an hour and a half full body workout with squats, bench, deadlifts, jumps, pull-ups, all that stuff, right? It's all in there. And go take a 30-minute run afterwards. And then go get on a bike and do lifts for an hour and then eat. Or a non-training day, I get out and run 5.5 miles on just black coffee. And there's no problem. I have no trouble with recovery, no problem with performance. And people forget this. And it's not like I go eat immediately afterwards. So for me, let's say, I do all that. We're not eating till noon. I could be lifting weights at 6 in the morning. I could be doing a 5-mile run at 6 a.m. and then do other stuff later and then eat my breakfast at noon. Like, in fact, yesterday, the day before doing this recording, that's literally what I did. I had a 6 a.m. workout, squat, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, jumps, overhead pressing. Did a 30-minute run, and I didn't eat breakfast till 12:30. I did it like an hour on my bike, just slow list cardio after, because I figured, well, now we burned through some glycogen and stuff. Let's get in and just do some lifts, dig into some body fat stores. Your body adapts to it really well. This is why, outside of true endurance events, I don't buy into this pre-workout, peri-workout nutrition. I've never had a problem with it. I've literally built up to 600 plus pound deadlifts, 500 plus pound squats, 365 bench, all on camera, training completely fasted. But look at that research that they looked at where people say, well, that's just your anecdote, except that it's been documented. It's been studied in the lab. So if you even look at some of that stuff I saw Minnow linking, and I don't have it handy, you guys can go Google it. I don't have it handy to link to you. Just an FYI. I'd have to Google it just like you guys would. Literally showed no muscle growth difference between a group consuming calories first, carbs first, versus a group who just trained fasted. Muscle growth is identical in the same programming. There's no loss of muscle growth at all from fasted training that experts can determine. Okay, and then people say, well, I need it. Well, if you adapt, you don't. And so people say, well, why would that? I mean, for one, I feel like for me, it was a very, very helpful fat loss tool when I lost a bunch of weight before. So I lost 150 pounds when I was younger as a runner. Then I got into lifting. Then I got really sick. And while I was sick and pretty much most semi-bedridden, I gained 100 pounds and I had to get back in shape. I used a lot of intermittent fasting, a lot of fasted cardio to lose that 100 pounds. It was a big, big part of what I did. Now, eventually I got back into fed training. And then I eventually got back into it and realized I didn't need food to train. Okay, I had a lot of luck with that. But I realized eventually my performance didn't reduce at all. Like once I got used to training fasted, I saw no reduction. So one, it's been helpful for controlling appetite, controlling calories. I believe there's benefits to nutrient partitioning. I know some actual scientists and researchers who actually do believe that, by the way. Right, who I've talked to, actually had conversations with, who believe that. So there is that. But then the other thing, I find my workouts are really good fasted. I don't get nausea. So my lower body stuff can get super intense sometimes. I've had cases where I vomited or get extreme nausea if I eat before I train. And I don't get that if I train fasted. So for me personally, it's a net positive, meaning the data doesn't show a negative. I don't believe pre-workout or pre-workout nutrition, barring extreme endurance events, really matters. I get it if you're running a marathon or doing an ultra or a triathlon. But for a 5-mile run, I have no trouble running 5 miles fasted at all. Zero. Okay? And I'm over 200 pounds. But I find that for me, I don't get nausea, I don't get sick, I don't puke in the middle of a workout. Okay, and that can be a problem. I've found that can be a problem for me sometimes. And then we don't deal with it at all. Also, my blood sugar stays way more stable when training. It's for me personally. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.